Well, hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Exploring in My Explorer Home Edition. And I want to introduce you, if you don't know him already, you need to get to know him. My friend Dean Banowetz, otherwise known as the Hollywood Hair Guy.
Hey girl, hey.
Hey, so nice to see you. I love the beard.
Right? You know, I just did another online beard competition last weekend for a veterans charity, which was really great. I didn't place, but it was such a good charity. And I think it was in Philadelphia. It was my second online beard competition for a charity.
How fun is that?
It's
You know,
crazy.
last year when my husband and I were in Italy, I saw this crazy photograph of a guy with a beard with lots of adornments within the beard, and I took a
Right?
picture and I sent it to you because it made me think of you immediately. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. And so you have to follow Dean on social media. And Dean, where can we find you?
Well, my Instagram is dbano along with my TikTok. So D as in dog, B as in boy, ANO. I'm so military. I just can't shake that Echo Tango Zulu. You know, all of it. But it's funny because my niece was like, you must be loved.
Oh, you cut out for a minute, love. Hello. There we go.
Is that better?
It is better. So your niece said you must be loving.
Well, my niece said you must be loving this quarantine because you're probably thinking up a lot of Christmas beard styles. And I
Are
was like,
you?
oh my gosh, I can't even believe you went there. But yes, I am. Are you kidding? It's not even June, and I am this close to decorating my entire house for Christmas.
And
And
why?
she was
Why?
and she was like, do it. Do it. It's gonna make everybody happy all summer.
Exactly. It makes you happy. That's it. You
but
have to do what makes you happy.
but people get a little crazy when I turn my snow machines on and they're on the roof and they're walking by the house and it starts to snow. Oh, the crazy stuff. But I mean, they never forget it.
That's fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Um, so Dean has a very interesting story of when he grew up, and I am just going to let you take it away. So where did you grow up? Tell us about that.
Okay. This is the way I start all my college lectures. Hi, my name is Dean Banowetz. I'm the 13th of 15 children born and raised on a farm in Iowa. And by that time, everybody's like, what? Did we just hear you correctly? Yeah, there's 15 kids, 8 boys, 7 girls. And they're like, whoa. And I'm like, well, my mom came from a family of 13 and my dad has 16. It's very common. It's a big Catholic Iowa farm family, you know. Hey, I think we're gonna buy some more acres. Okay, let's have a couple more kids to work that land. I was like, what? Uh, true words. But I'm just trying to, born and raised on a farm in Iowa. I went into the Army in 1985 when I graduated from high school because I just I felt like I needed to get away from the farm because my dad had passed away when I was a junior in high school and I was still on the farm. And I just felt like, honestly, if I don't get away, I will probably be doing this for the rest of my life, which is not what I wanted to do. So I joined the Army, I learned real quick, it's probably not the best place for me, the Army, but I called, I remember I enlisted and I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I just don't think this is for me. And she was like, but you signed the contract, nobody else did. So you can either make it a good tour of duty or a really bad tour of duty. And I love and I hate when she's always right. But I was like, it was a mental shift for me. And a year later, I was Soldier of the Year. And I just said yes to every opportunity. And I've kind of just lived my life that way ever since. And when
Yes.
I got out of the Army, it was insane because I had my GI Bill for school. So I was starting to go to school for art education and art history. And halfway through, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I don't want to teach and I don't want to work in a museum. So I remember I reached out to my brother Leon, number 12. And so because we all have this Dewey Decimal System, right? So I'm number 13. If I got married, my partner would be 13.0. If we had kids, 13.1, 13.2, and so on and so forth. So a lot of times I'll get an email and it'll say number 13, blah, 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 and then it'll be 4.4. So I'm like, Judy Ellis Dolores Lloyd. It's my brother Lloyd's fourth kid, Tasha Tanya Brody. It's my niece Brandy. Oh my God, I love you, Brandy. So anyway.
You have a cheat sheet somewhere, I'm assuming.
No, it's like, it's becoming second nature. Like you rattle off your social security number. It's kind of crazy.
Okay.
But, you know, my brother Leon was like, he was an ad agent, you know, and he works for, you know, different art directors and hired, you know, hair and makeup for photo shoots. And he goes, I really think you should do hair. And I was like, really? I go, I've never thought about doing hair in my life. And he was like, you used to braid the tails on the cows when you were supposed to be milking them. Just do hair. And I was like, those were cute braids. Just saying. My dad hated them, but whatever. And it was crazy because, you know, 2 weeks later, I was enrolled at Bill Hill's College of Cosmetology in Davenport, Iowa, in the back of a furniture carpet warehouse, and have never looked back.
That is so fantastic.
Kind of crazy.
That is crazy. And so when did you leave Iowa? What propelled you to leave?
Well, I had, you know, I owned a salon and I had a bunch of, you know, employees, and I would always do these like goal sheets every 6 months with my employees, you know, and talk about, you know, strategy for the next 6 months. And I'm working with this, you know, employee, and we're going through, you know, about being specific about what you want and be realistic. And then my step 3 is like that information gathering, and it's kind of that accountability stage, and then your deadline. And you're just going over her goal sheet, and she was like, but what are your goals? And I was like, I have put everything into this salon and my goal was just to keep it going. She goes, no, you need a personal goal. And so I decided I wanted to do hair for TV and film. And I went to this class in Santa Monica, had the best time. No intention of moving to LA. I mean, I was considering just doing somebody's hair on the local news or something.
Gotcha.
And I did her class, and I didn't really know that she was a headhunter, and she gave my name to a bunch of production companies. And I had called her and I go, are you giving my name to people? And she was like, yes, you need to be in LA. And I was like, you need to leave me alone. You're freaking me out. Cause I was like, who the hell's giving my information to everybody? And she goes, you apply for one of those jobs and I'll leave you alone. And I faxed my resume to the television show Extra, and they called me in 8 minutes and offered me a chance to interview and audition for the job. And I got it. I flew to LA from Iowa. I beat out a ton of other people for the job. And when they offered it to me, all my friends were like, you have to take this. This does not happen to people who live in Iowa that much. And I was like, all right. And I honestly, I flew out on February 13th, 2000, and my first day of work as the hair supervisor on the television show Extra was Valentine's Day 2000, 20 years ago.
Wow.
And just from then, every opportunity that has come my way, I've just said yes. So, you know, working with Ryan Seacrest, I then went to American Idol, and then that started my whole reality competition spectrum of, you know, working on Dancing with the Stars, which you came out, which is so much fun.
Yes. It was so much fun.
Right. The illusion of TV is crazy for people who are not in it, because you think it's this grand ballroom. Well, because they say it's a ballroom, but it's not that big.
No, it's not at all. It's not. And watching the crew, you know, put up sets and take down sets
in record time.
Break.
In record time, because trust me, there's a stage manager screaming at us, 2.5 minutes, 2.5. I'm like, oh, good night, Mary Jane, whisper. You're stressing me out.
Yes. I always remember seeing you in the red room, touching people up during, you know, during the show.
You can't really miss this in the background. I look like security. So I did 6 seasons on Dancing with the Stars as the team member. I never ran that show. And then I started working So You Think You Can Dance, and I took over So You Think You Can Dance, started World of Dance, which premieres the 26th. And I love the shows that I do, but I really love this one because it's the massive amount of people that we have to take care of and get ready. And just the artistry of the dance. And I love Derek Huff, and I work with him and do his hair for the show. And he makes the show for me. He's just a great guy. But that premieres May 26th. And then American Idol. So that was we just finished that season.
Yes.
Crazy. My last day on Idol was in Hawaii when we did all of those.
Wow.
The performance, because we came back and there was a break before we went to do the lives and middle rounds and stuff like that. And then COVID happened. So we kind of tucked that away. And then I have America's Got Talent that's coming up. So You Think You Can Dance. That's going to be in the summer. My favorite show is Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg Potluck Party Challenge.
I love that show.
Girl, I swear to God, they're going to kick me off set because I laugh so much. They are crazy. Like, they are crazy. And in the best way.
I love it. I know the audience looks so fun. They have fun. I of course, Martha Stewart is at QVC, and
Right.
walking down the hallway, I said to her one day, "You and Snoop together is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant." He cracks me up. You know, she of course is the domestic goddess. You know, and it's just great.
The things that just like set me crazy laughing is, they, like, the first season that we did, they were doing, they'd focus on a specific food.
Right.
So the day they did hamburgers, and Martha brings in a bougie butcher, and they're like grinding the meat for the, the ground beef and everything else. And you see Snoop just smashing the ground beef into a patty. And she was like, "Why are you making a square burger?" And he was like, "How else is it going to fit on my grilled Wonder Bread?" And I fell out. That is so Iowa, and it's so good. But I'm not kidding. I was like, we got some country up in here. It was the best.
That is so awesome. Yeah, I enjoy that show.
That dichotomy is funny.
It is funny. I love it. I love it. There was a rapper, I forget the show, but there was a rapper on who was like all about Martha. He was like, "Oh, Martha." He just was all up in her.
Well, and she has such a dry sense of humor that it just makes it so funny. And she is tall.
Yes.
She's super tall.
Yes.
Because I'm 6'4", and I was like, she was like, "Oh, you're tall," and I go, "And you're not?"
Yeah, she's just about my height. I'm like 5'7". She's 5'7", 5'8", I think.
But I think she is always in like 3-inch heels. Like she's in heels. She works that heel.
She does.
But I love it. So those are some of my favorite shows. And then we have a new show Disney Plus is doing. It's called Disney File, which is think of it like Family Feud, but Disney trivia.
Oh, my.
Right. But now let's look at the Disney family, because you have Marvel, you have all the Star Wars stuff, and geographic, like there's so many different things. And these trivia people are legit for real.
Really?
Oh, yeah, like I think I know some Disney. They're like, "Step aside, rookie."
Excuse me. Get out of my way.
Yeah, get out of the way. So we were shooting that when the Rona happened. I had that show down too. So I had 4 shows that shut down, and I don't think we'll be back probably until August or maybe September.
Okay.
So hopefully, I'm just doing arts. I'm just doing arts and crafts at the house.
I love it. Well, and also I know that you wrote a book to help dads. So how did that come to be?
Well, so 15 kids in my family. I have grown up with my sisters and sister-in-laws complaining about their spouses not helping to get the kids ready for school or church or dance class or whatever the case may be. And so I had this moment where I'm like, if this is happening in my family, it's happening in families everywhere. And so I decided to do, and I've never written a book before, and it was hard to get a literary agent. So I just decided to self-publish on Amazon. Okay. But it's called The Dean's List. Ready for this? It's the Dean's List of Daddy Do's, which is a self-help step-by-step guide for dads and mommies too,
And mommies too.
to do their kids' hair.
Love
But
it.
it's one of the it's so much fun, and I made it into a coloring book for the kids. And there's so many like product resources and other things of that nature, but it was so funny because every single girl I ever asked, I was like, did your dad ever do your hair? And the ones that are like, yes, and I loved it. I remember it. I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. And other ones like, oh yeah, no, my dad never never touched my hair. And the point is, your hairstyles probably aren't going to look the greatest, but that's not really what this is about. This is about bonding with your kid.
Yeah.
It's about, and it's funny because a lot of dads reach out and they talk and they're like, it's interesting how much information you find out what's going on in your daughter's mind when you spend some time with them, doing almost like mindless activities where they just feel comfortable and they start telling you stuff.
Yeah.
And I just have seen relationships really blossom. And during this pandemic, so many books have been ordered because dads are home and they're practicing and, they're bonding. Like, honestly, you're at home. Some people are going crazy. It's just another fun activity.
Yeah.
And it will create a ton of memories, which is cool.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So.
And I'm working on the second book.
Oh, number 2. Yay.
Yes. Which is the Dean's List of Bridal Do's. And so I just started that probably 6 months ago, just getting my outlines ready. It'll probably like a year and a half, depending on how long the Rona goes. It might be sooner. Because I did so many weddings, you love dancing. So Whitney, I did her wedding, and Emma's wedding.
Yep.
Emma and Sasha. And then Sean Johnson, I did her wedding as well.
Yes.
And I love that because she's from Iowa. She was on Dancing with the Stars. And she's just, her and her husband, Andrew, are hilarious. I had so much fun with those guys. It was good. So just collecting all the pictures too and stuff like that for the book and, fun things.
That is so fantastic. So you are award-winning in a lot of ways. You won Soldier of the Year when you were enlisted.
Correct.
And you've also been nominated for Emmys.
Yes, 5 Emmys so far that I've been nominated for. I haven't won yet.
Yet.
But it's funny because yesterday in my timeline of memories, it popped up because last year I gave the commencement speech at my high school in Iowa.
Wow.
And it was a really, really amazing situation just because, my mom's 93, she was able to be there. And we just had great experiences and fun things. And when I was doing the commencement speech, I go, listen, I haven't won an Emmy yet, but when I do, it is going to live in the high school trophy case for 2 months so you can all see it.
Oh, good for you.
And they were like, really? And I go, yeah, because when you grow up on a farm in Iowa, you really think those things are really unobtainable. And the key is all you need to do is work hard and be a good person.
Yeah.
And so 5 Emmy nominations, 2 for Dancing with the Stars, 1 for Grease Live, 1 for So You Think You Can Dance, and 1 last year for World of Dance.
Wow.
And then I've won 2 Guild Awards, which is kind of like the SAG Awards, but for the hair world.
Okay.
1 for Dancing with the Stars and 1 for So You Think You Can Dance. And I've had 6 nominations for that.
That is
so
amazing.
It's fun, and and I love when you can recognize people for their work too.
Absolutely.
And but you've seen the behind the scenes, and you see what happens because when there's a big group number like on Dancing, like hair and makeup come running out like crazy because they're like, you got 3 minutes.
You have to totally change the look in 3 minutes. It's unbelievable.
Well, and there's been times where I haven't had enough time to make it back to the red room, and I literally just dive into the audience and crawl through the aisle and get up the sideway. I mean, it's live. What are you going to do?
Exactly.
Like,
what are you going to do? They can't delay. Oh, sorry. Her hair's out of place. Play another commercial. No, you can't do that.
I got to get this last flyaway. Okay.
Yes.
You know,
No, that was so fun and so exciting. And when I went to Dancing with the Stars, Dean gave me a little behind the scenes sneak peek, and I got to meet my favorite dancer,
so hot.
Max
Oh,
Schmirkovsky.
he's so incredibly handsome.
So sweet, so handsome, gave me a big squeeze. Yeah, it
He's a good
was,
one. He's a good guy.
oh, oh, I follow him on social media, and uh, my girlfriend and I went to see them when they came on their dance tour to
Okay.
Philly. We did a little VIP action with him and Val and PETA.
Love that.
It was so great. You know,
Yeah,
I love celebrity stuff. I love it all. I follow it. I pay attention. You know, so it's totally
and
my jam.
it's fun. And when you kind of watch their growth too, because they've been on camera dancing for so long, you see, like I love that Max and Peta are married and that little baby is growing up and so
Delish.
handsome and cute and adorable. I just love watching that.
Yes. It's amazing. So what's next for you?
You start to feel like a cherished.
You go. A cherished
No,
what?
you just start to feel like a gunkle. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like I'm their gay uncle that's like, oh my God, you guys are doing so great. I mean, like I love when I'm like at Target and I hear one of the past American Idols, a song comes on, and I'm not kidding. I am super emotional to begin with, and I'm super sensitive, and I am not kidding. I'll be looking at toilet paper, like tearing up because Kimberly Locks won, 8 with the World Wonders on, and I'm like, oh my God, I love her.
You're the best gunkle ever. Ever.
Thanks.
So what's up on deck for you? What's a bucket list thing for you for this year?
Bucket list for this year. Well, I was gonna open a training academy. It's a 4-story loft. First floor salon, second floor training academy for a small group of people. I want to, I have it for 10, but I want to keep smaller, intimate groups so you can really work on projects and manipulate and be creative and put those components together. But on that second floor is also the first bedroom, which I've converted into a podcast and YouTube studio. The third floor is a loft that overlooks the training academy, and that's a photography studio, and then a residence on the 4th floor.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was going to be what I was going to do in April, but with the pandemic and everything, it's, and I'm enjoying this time to kind of really get everything collected as well and kind of get that mental preparation.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once things kind of settle down, that's when it's going to take place. But I also just have to do construction, so it's going to take me a little minute to get all that put together. But, it's like putting those goals in place and doing your due diligence and taking that accountability and doing that information gathering and just making sure everything's in a row so you can make that happen.
Absolutely. Yes. You're an encourager. You bring laughter and love everywhere you go, and you lift other people up. And I think we need more of that in this world. And I want to showcase that. And that's part of the reason why I've been doing these series of having, Exploring My Explorer Home Edition, because I just feel like your story needs to be told and more people need to see it.
Well, and the thing about you, because I remember when I met you for the first time at the Q, and listen, and I don't know if people are like this, but when there's a connection, and we connected right away because just same personalities, and like you can't beat yourself up over things, and you just have to. It's called life, boo.
That's right. Absolutely. And you can choose to look at it in the negative or in the positive. What lesson are you taking? Yep. And I believe that your glass is always half full.
Yes, and if it's not, we fill it back up.
That's right. Absolutely. Boom. Yes. So, well, on that note, I just wanted to thank you, Dean, for joining me in an episode of Exploring in My Explorer.
Thanks for having me. This is so much fun. I love that you're doing this, by the way.
Well, thank you. And I'm so excited that actually we were able to do the at-home edition because you live in California and I would have never had the opportunity to have you in my Explorer.
Oh, you don't know where I'll fly.
Noted. Noted. And,
and who says you can't visit LA?
No, I know. It's on my agenda for later this year, God willing.
Perfect. Just keep me posted.
I will.
We'll have cocktails at the house.
I insist. I'll knock on your door. Hi, I'm here.
I'm like, be our guest. Welcome.
There we go. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And don't forget to follow Dean on Instagram and TikTok. And I will see you next time.
Take care. Thank you.